Hi everybody, this is Carrie Elkin, and I am here today to present you with an introduction to prenatal yoga. It's called mindful pregnancy because it's a little bit more than just prenatal movements, which most people will think that it's the postures, also known as asana, but it's also a practice of meditation, breathing exercises and such that can help with pain, discomfort, stress, and anxiety that often accompany pregnancy. This is a great opportunity for expectant moms looking to find balance, peace of mind while connecting with their babies. It's also a great first step on your healthy living journey as a new mom, because healthy moms raise healthy babies. You are a role model for your babies moving forward. They're going to mimic what you're doing. So why not be this role model for healthy living for them as a bonus? Take this opportunity to begin your healthy living journey for your well-being, both physically, mentally. So I am going to share with you a presentation. Hang on one second. Let me open the presentation. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'll start the slideshow from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so mindful pregnancy. Mindfulness is defined as the awareness that results from focusing attention on the present moment, here and now. For pregnant women, a mindful practice can help pain, discomfort, stress, anxiety that accompanies pregnancy. You feeling any of those currently? There are many practices uniquely designed for pregnant women, including prenatal yoga, meditation, and breathing exercises. They are all aimed at supporting expectant mothers, both emotionally and physically. So take a moment to think what your current routine for helping you relax is right now, helping you feel present. Where is your mind right now? Hopefully just on this presentation, which means that you're in the present moment. But how often is our mind in the past and in the future? The past is a state of depression, tends to be. This thinking of the future too much tends to make us feel anxious. So it's really the present moment that one of the things that we really want to take away from a prenatal yoga practice, a mindful pregnancy practice. So why prenatal yoga? If you have practiced yoga before, sorry, let me just take a sip. You may already know about some of the wonderful benefits it has to offer, including stress relief, flexibility, balance, improved blood flow. Prenatal yoga is specifically tailored to expectant mothers, and while it offers all the same benefits of traditional practices, it's designed to target specific pregnancy-related needs, such as increased flexibility and strength in the muscles required for childbirth. You do not have to be well-versed in yoga to start a prenatal practice. I actually tell my prenatal students that it's actually a good starting point because you'll only do about 31 poses, and there's hundreds of yoga poses. So it's a good starting place not to be so overwhelmed with the hundreds of yoga poses. You just focus on the 31 or so poses. So prenatal yoga is specific to expectant mothers. It's a good idea to choose prenatal over standard practice for pregnancy-specific poses. So let's look at some things you should be aware of before getting started. Aside from increasing flexibility and endurance for birthing, prenatal yoga can help to improve sleep, increase relaxation, reduce stress and anxiety, decrease nausea, headaches, pregnancy-induced hypertension, and lower the risk of preterm labor. But as with any new exercise, it's always a good idea to determine if the activity is actually right for you before you begin. So first, of course, check with your healthcare provider to make sure it's okay for you to start or continue a yoga program. In your first trimester, you shouldn't have many movement restrictions, but it is important to remember to drink lots of water and to breathe deeply as you stretch, which will take a nice deep breath here. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. If you are already well practiced, know that your regular routine will require some modifications. So that's one of the reasons for this presentation as well. Moving on to your second trimester. Your joints will start to relax due to relaxin, which is a hormone that your body creates during pregnancy to help prepare you for delivery. At this stage, because of the looseness in your joints, you will want to sink into yoga position slowly and carefully and only hold as long as you're comfortable. Here are some tips to help you along in your practice. Employ the use of a wedge or a pillow to raise your upper body when you're lying down. Be aware that as your body grows, your sense of balance will definitely be affected. Take your time and never force yourself to the point of pain or exhaustion. So moving into your third trimester, you may feel less graceful, find it harder to balance due to your growing belly. Here are some tips to keep your practice enjoyable and safe. Do all standing poses with your heel to the wall, hand to a chair, or any other available prop for support to avoid losing your balance. Use blocks and straps to help you move through poses with greater flexibility. Don't hold poses for a long time. It's best to keep the body moving and blood flowing to you and your baby. Here's some poses to avoid for the safety of your baby. Lying on your back. Limit the time you're on your back as it can put pressure on your inferior vena cava. It's the vein that carries blood from the legs to the heart. It can cause reduced blood flow to your uterus, and we don't want that. You can always use wedges or pillows, once again, to prop you up for poses on your back. Full inversions. Whether or not inversions are safe is definitely up for debate, but a good rule is to avoid them once the baby is in position, so once the head is down. Heated yoga. Heated or Bikram style yoga is best to avoid because you don't want to risk raising your core temperature above a safe level. Major back bends can cause overstretching of the abdominals and even tearing. Next, we're going to get into some wonderful poses you can do at home or in class. This pose you can even do in bed. Cat pose is a great prenatal pose. It helps move baby into a favorable position for birth. It also releases tension in the back and increases spine flexibility and strength. So if you'd like, you can get on all fours now to practice it as I talk you through it. It's pictured here too, so you kind of get an idea. So start on your hands and knees with your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. As you inhale, raise your head gently and look up. And then as you exhale, round your back as pictured here and bring the chin towards your chest. Press your hands into the floor or bed and push the center of your back up to the ceiling, rounding your back. And then really just follow a flow doing that. So inhale, open your heart, drop your belly, and then exhale, round your back. So you're getting the back side of your heart. Follow one breath, one movement. Take a few breaths doing that. That's cat pose. When you complete your exhale, come to a neutral spine. And we will move into tree pose, pictured here. This is a great way to practice maintaining your balance as your body undergoes change. Here are some other benefits. It helps with heartburn by placing your hands over your head. It improves posture and it alleviates back pain. So how do you do tree pose? So if you'd like, stand. Begin with both feet on the ground with your weight evenly distributed between your heels and your toes. Even spread out all of your toes. Push them into the floor. Shift your weight onto one foot. Lift one foot to your ankle and balance. You can keep your toes lightly rested on the ground. You're going to hold on one side for a few breaths. And then you're going to switch. So for a more advanced positioning, bring your lifted foot higher on your leg as pictured here. So it can be super low on your ankle, or it could be a little higher up above your knee, eventually to your inner thigh. Bring your hands either into the prayer picture here, or you can raise them above your head, like so, and hold for a few breaths. Okay, we're gonna move on, and we're already standing. So let's separate our feet wider than hip for goddess pose. This is an incredible pose to open your hips and strengthen your legs, and it can also be done with your hands rested on a chair. So how do we do this? Toes are slightly pointed out. Bend in the knees into an open squat so that your hands are tracking over your ankles. So make sure your knees don't come forward in front of your toes. Keep the spine straight. And like I said, you can either hold the chair or you can even extend your arms overhead. And then you can even bend at the elbows too. So play around with how you want your arms to be. But if your arms are up, place your palms facing out. Oops, there we go. This is called cactus arms when we bend our elbows, but your arms can be straight up or hands on that chair. Stay for a few breaths. You should feel some burn in your legs, which is good. Let's move on to pigeon pose. So if you're following along, lowering down to the ground or your bed, this can be a bed pose as well. The pigeon pose is a hip opening pose that helps to release tension in the lower back and buttocks and stretch the groin and psoas muscles that tend to get tight as pregnancy progresses. How do you do pigeon pose? So start out on your hands and knees, like we did for cat-cow pose. Then slide the right knee forward in between your hands. Rest on your right hip. You can place a pillow under your right hip for added comfort. Straighten your left leg behind you as if that leg is standing. Bring your right foot towards your left hip if possible. If you have any knee issues, you can just keep your knee and ankle in a straight line. So once you bring your foot towards your left hip, you want to square off both hips to the ground. So don't fall over to the right side, actually stay even with your hips. So that the top of your back foot and your thigh are centered on the ground. This is a more advanced pose pictured here. You can bend that back knee, see how that feels. If not, just leave it straight. Oops, hold for a few breaths. I went too far. Okay, there we go. And don't forget, you can try it on the other side. So once you've taken a few breaths on this side, slide that knee back to all fours, and then slide the opposite knee forward. Knee and ankle stay lined up, or you can take the left knee towards the left wrist, left ankle towards the right wrist. Make sure you don't fall over to one side, even out your hips. You can always pause the video to stay longer. So if something feels good, feel free to pause it. All right, prenatal yoga can be practiced at home, virtually like we're doing now, especially these days, connecting with each other virtually. But really joining a prenatal yoga class is a great way to receive proper instruction as you move through your poses. And it provides a wonderful opportunity to connect with other expectant moms in your community. Sharing the pregnancy journey with others, having similar experience to your own, can ease your anxiety about motherhood and childbirth. So definitely connect with others. Moving on, the benefits of breath. Practicing prenatal yoga is a great way to learn how to breathe deeply and consciously. The physical demands of labor require steady, controlled breaths. And one of the first steps to starting a yoga practice is to learn the power of the breath. A practice breath prepares you for childbirth by teaching you to stay calm and relaxed when you're in labor. When a person experiences pain or fear, the body produces adrenaline, which may decrease the production of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone that makes labor progress. With a regular yoga practice, your body is more likely to resist the impulse to restrict when you feel pain or anxiety. And in turn, it enables you to relax and stay calm. So there are several beneficial yoga breaths. Let's take a look at a few of them. So in yoga, breathing techniques are also called pranayama, which means breath control. Before you get started with any breathing technique, it is important to prepare yourself with a few relaxed breaths before and after each exercise. Start by doing just a few seconds at a time until you feel ready to increase to a longer increment of time. So maybe each one, which we'll do, let's see, we'll do 3 breaths, 3 different types of breaths. So maybe do them each for about 30 seconds or so, or at least about 5 breaths. Try that. The first one is called ujjayi breath. This breath is great for calming the mind and nervous system. So let's first take one cleansing breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Begin nose breathing. So the ujjayi breath, we're going to start by inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Drag the breath along the back of your throat to create a gentle hissing sound. Try to make each inhale and exhale even. Take each breath a little deeper than the last as you feel comfortable. And that hissing sound, I'm going to demonstrate for you, can sound, I like to call it more of an oceanic sound, like Darth Vader like. So you really feel it at the back of your throat as you inhale and exhale through your nose. So if my mouth is closed when I do that, I hear it. If I'm sitting next to a neighbor, you're not necessarily going to hear it. So notice how it went from to now my mouth is closed. Much more quiet. So same feel in the back of your throat. So try that a few times. Inhale and exhale, feeling that. And that's called the ujjayi breath. All right, we're moving on to the bellows breath. So nice cleansing breath in between. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. This breath is great for invigorating and rejuvenating. Make fists and raise your hands skyward. Inhale through your mouth. And with each exhale, bring your elbows down to your side and make the sound ha. Inhale through your mouth. With each exhale, bring your elbows down. Release from the bottom of your diaphragm as you do that. So continue that a couple more times while I take my sip of water. Moving on to the 3-part breath. So we'll take our cleansing breath, normal breath in between. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, just let it outside. Kind of sounds like that sound that we were just doing. It should just be a sound of relief. That's what's really coming out of your mouth when we're doing that cleansing breath. All right, so this last breath is what's called the 3-part breath. This breath is great for anxiety, insomnia, and stress relief. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your navel. Inhale into your chest, so nose breathing. Then into your upper abdomen, and finally puff out your belly. Slowly release the breath in the same way, working backward from your belly, then your upper abdomen, then your chest. So we'll do that together again. Inhale through your nose, feel your chest, your upper abs, and your belly puff out. And then slowly release the breath in the same way. Working backward from your belly, your upper abs, and your chest. Inhale into your chest, your upper abs, puff out your belly. Slowly release the breath. Your belly, then your upper abs, then your chest. Keep going a couple more times. When you complete your exhale, or again, pause me if you want. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. It's like a little palate cleanser. When you're eating, that cleansing breath is really for that. Moving on to the next thing. So we'll do a meditative breath. It's nearly impossible not to experience some moments of stress, fear, or anxiety when thinking about motherhood, the health of your baby, the preparation for your baby, and the process of childbirth. Another way to create a relaxed state is to sit with yourself and practice mindful breathing to clear your mind and bring you present. To do this, find a comfortable seated position, maybe as pictured here, or in a chair, or maybe the use of a cushion. Keep your back straight though. You can even be against the wall if that helps. But you don't want to be too rigid. So even if you're against the wall, move slightly away from the wall so you're not so rigid. You can rest your hands on your lap. Close your eyes. Take notice of the shape of your body, its weight, how it feels. Then slowly become aware of the sensations around you and within you. Relax any areas of the body feeling tight by breathing into tightness. Tune into your breath. Allow it to come in and out naturally, and notice where you feel it in your body. You might notice that your mind may start wandering. This is totally natural, and this is why we do it. So we can acknowledge it, see your mind wandering, and then bring your focus back to your breath. Try to stay in the experience for 5 to 7 minutes. From time to time, you'll get lost in thought. When you do, return to your breath. This is a great practice to make a daily habit throughout your pregnancy and beyond. So especially if you're new to yoga, you may have never done this before. This is so awesome as a pregnant mom and anybody. Dad can join you for this one. Feel what you feel. So moving on, if you've ever done meditation, what's your feeling on that? If you've never done meditation, what's your perception of what that is? Guided meditation is a great way to help you get into the practice of meditation. There's some great websites that offer guided meditation. You can go to headspace.com. You can go to the chopracenter.com. You can go to doyogawithme.com and check out some of their meditations. I highly recommend, maybe write that down really quick and then do that as your homework assignment to this. So you need to spend more time with that. Okay, we're going to move on to a mindful practice. Practicing mindfulness allows you to be focused on the present, as I mentioned earlier, to immerse yourself in developing a bond with your baby during your pregnancy and after. Here and now, be with your pregnancy. All of this work will help you and your baby thrive both physically and emotionally. Whether your mindful practice involves yoga, breath exercises, meditation, or all three, I highly recommend all three. Mindfulness practice is a powerful way to manage your emotions, stress, and prepare your mind and body for childbirth and motherhood. Take a moment to notice, are you currently practicing creating quiet moments for just you and your baby? We'll practice a little bit right now. Be present with your baby. Take some time out to connect with him or her. Find a quiet spot. Make yourself comfortable. Breathe deeply for a few minutes. Place one hand on your belly. Actually, place both hands on your belly to start. One on the upper part, one on the lower part, as if you're holding your baby. Breathe deeply for a few moments, sending your breath to the baby that's growing inside of you. Close your eyes. Imagine you're actually holding your baby. Think about everything you and your baby have experienced together up to now. The good moments and the bad moments. The good moments, some fluttering. The bad moments, maybe a little nausea him or her is giving to you. Those are moments together. Think of your journey as a continuation. Imagine yourself being an active participant in your child's birth. See yourself with your child. Notice any positive sensations. Stay with that feeling. If any fears or worries you have about birth and parenting come to mind, welcome them, acknowledge them, but also focus on letting them go. Know they're there, but by focusing so much of them, you're living on the future or the past. We don't want anxiety or depression. We want to be in the present moment, here and now. So just really try to let those thoughts go. This is a practice. It takes time. Continue this exercise throughout your pregnancy. Schedule in time with just you and your baby as often as you can to strengthen your bond. So we're going to stay here. Keep one hand on your belly, but slide the other hand to your heart center. Feel your own heartbeat. Take a moment to celebrate your present self. There is nothing quite as profoundly special as the journey to motherhood. For 9 months, your body undergoes countless amazing physical transformations. Your belly swells, your joints loosen, your hormones change, your breasts prepare for milk production. A mindful practice allows you to soften some of the fear, discomfort, and anxiety surrounding your pregnancy and childbirth so that you can be present for one of the most amazing processes the body undergoes, an experience not to be missed. Celebrate yourself for creating life. Live in the present to experience your incredible, I don't know why I keep losing my voice. So celebrate yourself for creating life and live in the present to experience your incredible journey with your baby now and forever. So you're off. There are more classes just like this. I have a class on raising a little yogi, so once your kid is a little bit older, yoga for moms, essential oils for pregnancy, babies, and kids, intro to meditation, all perfect complements to this webinar. So next steps. If you're interested in beginning a virtual weekly prenatal yoga class, email me, carrie.elkin@atlantichealth.org. Thank you so much for attending this event. It means a lot to be able to share this mindful lesson with you. Now it's time for you to get started. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm happy to help you. So many thanks. Thank you so much for attending this event. I hope this experience left you with some powerful tools to start practicing mindfulness daily. Connect with me, yoginicarrie.com. You can find my other webinars there. You can email me, yoginicarrie@gmail.com. And then, of course, follow me on social media, Instagram, yoginicarrie, facebook.com, yoginicarrie. So hopefully we can begin a prenatal yoga class together. Just reach out to me. As the moms reach out to me, there's enough people, we'll begin a virtual yoga experience together. So namaste. I think that covers everything. Yes, those are some of the classes. I am going to stop sharing. Here we are. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you are feeling well. Prenatal yoga, mindful pregnancy is a way to help you mindfully keep feeling well. Begin your healthy journey with me. Namaste, the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for coming.